The mid-19th century marked a period of immense change in Britain. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing. Factories sprang up across the country. They were filled with new machines that could produce goods faster than ever before. This period, often called the Second Industrial Revolution, brought prosperity for some. But for many working people, it meant long hours, low wages, and dangerous conditions. It was in these harsh conditions that the seeds of the trade union movement were sown. Workers, facing exploitation and lacking any formal means of representation, began to organize. They formed small, localized groups to support each other, share information, and bargain for better treatment. These early unions were often fragile and short-lived. However, they represented a growing awareness amongst working people. They realized they had to stand together to improve their lives. The growth of industrial towns and cities further fueled this burgeoning movement. Workers were concentrated in factories and mines. This made it easier for them to communicate and organize. They began to see strength in numbers. The stage was set for the emergence of a more organized and powerful trade union movement. This period also witnessed the rise of radical thinkers and reformers. They championed the rights of workers and provided an intellectual framework for the growing labor movement. Ideas of socialism and Chartism, advocating for political reform and workers' rights, gained traction. They offered a vision of a fairer society where workers had a greater say in their own destiny. The late 1850s and 1860s saw a significant shift in the trade union movement with the emergence of new model unionism. Unlike earlier localized unions, these new unions were national in scope. They focused on skilled workers in particular trades. One of the most prominent examples was the Amalgamated Society of Engineers, formed in 1851. These new model unions were characterized by their centralized organization, professional leadership, and a more cautious approach to industrial action. They preferred negotiation and compromise over strikes. They believed that by demonstrating their responsibility and financial stability, they could win concessions from employers. However, the strike weapon, as it became known, was not completely abandoned. Strikes were used strategically, often as a last resort when negotiations broke down. One notable example was the 1866 London Builders' Strike, which lasted for 6 months and involved thousands of workers. These strikes, while sometimes disruptive, played a crucial role in advancing the cause of labor. They demonstrated the growing power of organized labor. They forced employers to recognize the legitimate demands of their workers. The willingness of these new model unions to engage in collective bargaining and their cautious use of strikes laid the groundwork for a more mature and influential trade union movement. Beyond the factory floor, the labor movement began to intersect with other social and political issues. Women, in particular, played a significant role in this broader struggle. They fought not only for better working conditions, but also for political rights and social justice. Their involvement added a new dimension to the labor movement, highlighting the interconnectedness of various forms of oppression and the need for a comprehensive approach to social change. Section 4, Towards Recognition, Trade Unions and the Law. Section 5, The Dawn of a Movement, Trade Unions in the 1880s.